Okay, so for real this time. And today we're also showing off one of the Easter eggs you unlock, which is Big Head Mode. Joe, you want to explain what exactly happened with that previous episode there, since you were the one who was playing?
Oh god, that took us a good, almost an hour?
Yeah.
God, Tom found it and trying to perfect it.
Yeah,
I think all of us tried. We all tried at least 10 times. Well, me and Stan tried it about 20 times. Tom, about 50.
Yeah.
And I'd do it and I'd get the closest, and so we decided just to have me do it.
Yeah.
And out of nowhere.
Yeah. Okay, so for those who haven't put two and two together, what we did there was actually a speedrun exploit. You're actually not supposed to be able to do that, because if you get at all close to the cankers, a scene of you failing the mission plays. So, but because this is the only speedrunning exploit, at least that I was made aware of, that skips the level in its entirety, we thought it'd be pretty funny if we just uploaded an episode that was literally just that and pretended like, yeah, that's totally legit how you play the game. Also, I like how their heads shrink when they're in the Tower of Eddie. You notice that?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it does it when they do the trampoline too.
Yeah.
Double D will be the only one with a big head.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, this level, you just have to go through it doing a bunch of simple puzzles in order to get presents for the cankers. It's actually a pretty involving level, all things considered. Because there's multiple pathways that you end up taking, and all of them are very varied in what you do and how you do it. So I actually, even though this level is kind of long, I actually do like this level. It's also the best level to grind for money, because there are a lot of gold coins in here. So if you're strapped for cash, like you're gonna be if you wanna 100% this game, just play this level over and over again, and you'll have a ton of money in no time. So, alright, we're gonna deliver this first ship in the bottle here. There you are. And there she is, just kinda wobbling her head at it. It's a thing. Alright. So...
Too bad they don't get rings, like in the real episode.
Right, yeah. But, speaking of that, why don't you tell us a little bit about, your experience with Ed, and Eddie, Craig? And nope, you were wrong, Joe. They all have big heads still. Sweet.
Oh.
Right, I watched basically every episode, even when they were in their high school years.
Yeah. It is a great cartoon.
I remember this episode, I remember this house was basically a trap house for the cankers.
Yeah.
Which, at the end of the episode, they ended up getting married.
Yes. And there's our first gold coin. Nice.
This should work.
And that opens a secret bookcase. How about you, Joe? How did you, get into the show, and how'd you feel about it?
I watched it from the freaking very beginning when I was a kid. I always loved it. The shenanigans they get into are hilarious.
So that's an easy chicken if you know it's coming. And claim another Easter egg. But yeah, we all definitely grew up with this show, and it definitely, for me personally, it helped form some of my sense of humor. And yeah, you're giggling because you know. But
I still quote one episode.
Which one?
Where Ed has a coat hanger and he's like, one way or another, we're getting that baby out of there.
I don't think that's what he says, but okay.
Yeah, it is.
Whatever.
That's a true thing, dude.
Whatever.
That is exactly what he says.
Whatever.
I no longer see the merit of this endeavor.
But yeah, why I was running over that pit and then showing this was because here's a fun fact. If you try to go across that little pathway, why is it not letting me grab the... There we go. but yeah, if you try to go across that pathway, you'll just die if you don't raise the water level first. So have fun with that. And here, this is stupid. This is a long, wide bridge, and yet you still have to use Tower of Eddie to cross it. I don't get it. Whatever.
You couldn't use Ed's battering ram?
No. Won't let you.
Hmm.
That said, we do
Weird.
need the Batter Ed for this. By the way, another thing I actually, I forgot to mention this in the other parts, but one thing I definitely also appreciate about this game is it actually uses, music from the show in all the levels. Not just the theme song, but actual, like, the background music you would hear if you were watching an episode. That's a really good touch.
Yeah.
So break this to get another gold coin. We now have $1.36. Go us. But, so, who's your guys' favorite Ed, speaking of the show?
I always like Double D.
I always like Ed.
Okay, Edward.
Yeah, I'm definitely an Ed guy, too.
Deep breaths.
He always manages to make me crack up in, like, every episode I watch.
How can your feet smell if they don't have a nose?
Fly, Double D, fly! Fly, Naz, fly! She didn't even make a grab for it.
Big bro, it's me, Eddie. You know, Pipsqueak.
Yeah. The movie was really good, too. I don't know,
He actually got to see his brother.
Yeah, it was a great way to end the show.
Mm-hmm.
One criticism I definitely do have of this level, though, is, there's too many locked doors, because it interrupts the flow. Like, I understand they want you to use all the Eds, you know, equally, but, like, the thing is, you already have Double D pushing buttons, and you're having him use the trample Ed a lot. Why do we need to be interrupted every 5 seconds with locked doors? You know? But maybe that's just me, so let's bring this can of axle grease over to the cankers. Here we are. And now they're both just kind of doing the head jive over there. Whatever. Alright, so off to the last section of the level, which is the basement. We need to get a book. I mean, I never would have struck out any of the cankers as, like, the super genius type, but... there you go.
Especially the one that's in
Who's
Dad.
your favorite hanker?
My favorite canker? Shoot, man, none of them.
You gotta pick one.
No. Instead, I'm gonna dig up this sandbox to get another costume piece. There we go.
Okay, well, who's the most annoying one out of the three?
I mean, again, they're all basically one person, so, like... There's really no point in differentiating. I always just refer to them all as the cankers. So... So here... I thought because it wouldn't let me get to that shelf, maybe I had to go at a different angle or something. And the answer is actually no, it's just really finicky. You gotta be at just the right angle, or they will not get you. Like, see? And even if you are, sometimes you'll slide right off. This is annoying. Look at that! Like, look at that! Like, come on! Anytime now. Finally, okay. And with that, the elevator is online.
Ingenious! This lift goes straight up to the library. Probably for those heavier tomes.
Gee, that's really interesting, but we gotta find something to give those cankers, sockhead. Books can wait.
On the contrary, a book is a gift that anyone can treasure.
What's in it? High school or middle school is? What
They're
the
in middle
new
school.
season? Middle school?
They're in middle school, yeah.
I thought they started high school in the last season.
No, they were in 8th grade, I believe. So, but yeah, just a note there. Like, let's say one of you guys, it was my birthday, and you're like, "Hey, Stan, here's a book." I'd be kind of pissed off, actually. Just saying.
I mean, it depends on the book.
I mean, yeah, like maybe if you bought me some strategy guides or something, I mean, that wouldn't be too bad. But like, if you just bought me like
Dictionary.
yeah, like a dictionary, if you bought me like War and Peace, I'd be like, really, guys.
The newest volume of freaking JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Give that to Tom. Like, yeah, manga would be cool. I'd be down with that, though. You know. But like, if you bought me like the Lusty Argonian Maid, I'd be insulted.
You'd be insulted in more ways than one.
Caught in a
Yes.
vortex of impending doom.
But yeah, a lot of spiders, as you would expect. Also, here's the part where you might get stuck. Yeah, that ladder right there, you're supposed to ram it. That actually tripped me up the very first time I played this game. I was like, where the heck am I supposed to go? Turns out you're just supposed to use your head. Literally. And
You
now
have
we
to
need
use Ed's head.
Yeah, we gotta tiptoe up here now. And that spider just, he died for his cause. Alright, get on up here now. There we go. And, oh, as usual, be sure to break boxes and stuff so you can get... And then that spider just fell from the ceiling. And died. But there's a second one, so it doesn't matter that much. And this is where we get a little spot of trouble. Turns out, yeah, you can't fall there, but... Doesn't matter. They were at least nice enough to put a checkpoint here. So that's something. Now for the tricky part. I might have noted this in another part, I can't remember, but whenever you have to cross one of these and it has like a swinging object in front, that's actually incredibly frustrating because the hitbox on swinging objects is a lot bigger than you might think it is. Like, it is deceptive. So you really need to just make sure it's swung all the way to one direction before you go forward, because otherwise it will probably hit you, and you have to start over. Not fun. And thankfully they teleport you back to the bottom once you get the book unlocked. And apparently only Ed can lift books, so... But, by the way, I love that with big head mode, it looks like he's just literally putting it on his head. So before we go off, we check real quick to see if we have everything. We do. And let's just get back to the Cankers to finish this level. Can't go that way. So we must go this way. I also like how there's a ticking clock as if you're on a time limit. Don't worry about that. You have all the time in the world. The Cankers are very patient.
Surprisingly.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And now let's go see what the heck they're even doing. Because we were very confused by this. Like, look at this. The fuck are they doing? Well, then, maybe... Well, let's tempt fate. Hey, Cankers. Stink bomb. No? Water balloons. Yeah, they don't care. Okay, let's just rescue Mr. Yum, and that's the end of this level. Thank you guys for joining me.
I still prefer the other way.